Welcome everyone to this Inuit-Crown Partnership Committee meeting. I'd like to thank Prime Minister, Co-Chair, for being here today with us. Also, all federal leadership, federal ministers, Inuit leadership, and associated media. We are pleased to be able to continue our path on reconciliation and the work that we have started now, I believe, 5 years ago in relation to the Inuit-Crown Partnership Committee. We have, over the course of the past year, had to struggle with the pandemic, also a number of other challenges to undertake our regular work of this particular group, but we've persevered. And today I look forward to talking through a number of different key priority areas and also approving a number of things that we have been working on for some time, such as the Inuit-Nunangat policy. I want to thank the government for working constructively with Inuit. We have come a long way, whether it's in relation to housing funds and the $845 million that was just announced in the 2022 budget, working on implementing the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples legislation, working together on things like the Child First Initiative and other things that directly relate to the rights of Inuit and Inuit who are most vulnerable, but also doing the work of the partnership between Inuit and the Crown and recognizing the specific spaces that we can make tremendous progress in and the constitutional relationship that we have with land claim organizations and as peoples with the Government of Canada. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Nakomik. Thank you everyone for being here. We're here in Ottawa today on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people who welcomed us. But at the same time, I know we're being joined by people from across Inuit-Nunangat virtually, so it's good to have everyone with us. As always, it's a tremendous pleasure to be here with you, Natan, to co-chair this Inuit-Crown Partnership meeting. We're many years into it, and I think we have seen significant and real progress, not just in substantive deliverables and outcomes that are deepening the opportunities and prospects for people across the North, but we've also developed ways of working together that will outlive either of our leaderships in ways that I think will make a lasting difference on how Government of Canada and governments in general engage with Indigenous leadership in really concentrating on delivering for people. Je veux souligner qu'aujourd'hui, on est accompagné de plusieurs ministres, évidemment les ministres aux affaires autochtones pour le ministre Miller et la ministre Haidou, aussi ministre Vandal qui est le ministre du Nord, mais on a aussi la ministre de la Défense, le ministre de la Justice aussi, parce que quand on s'engage à ce niveau-là, il faut que tout le gouvernement soit présent. We also have a number of important issues to discuss today. Perhaps the most significant is the work on the Inuit-Nunangat policy. This policy has been rigorously co-developed by the Inuit and federal government, with most of the heavy lifting and leadership done by Inuit leaders themselves. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the extraordinary leadership of the Inuit partners on this, your work and your dedication, not just for your own people, but for bettering Canada through this process, has been remarkable. If it is endorsed today, as I am sure it will be endorsed today, this policy will have a transformative effect, not just on our partnership, but also on those in the Inuit homeland, in Inuit-Nunangat. This policy recognizes Inuit-Nunangat as a distinct geographical, cultural, and political region. It provides a blueprint for ensuring that the needs, interests, and perspectives of Inuit are reflected in all federal policies, programs, services, and initiatives that apply in Inuit-Nunangat or benefit Inuit. Quite frankly, it's long overdue, but it's a positive step in our work towards reconciliation and in recognizing Inuit self-determination. This work is about ensuring equity between Inuit and other Canadians and about promoting prosperity for Inuit throughout Inuit-Nunangat. I look forward to President Obed's presentation today, where he'll be seeking endorsement of this historic policy. I also look forward to our discussion on other matters that matter deeply, like housing, which is a challenge everywhere in Canada, but we recognize unique difficulties in the north, including rising sea levels and a short construction season. As promised in our recent budget, we committed $4 billion towards closing the Indigenous housing gap, with $845 million specifically to support housing in Inuit communities. Un logement adéquat favorise le bien-être social, physique et mental, en particulier pour les enfants, les femmes et les familles. C'est un élément clé pour rendre les communautés plus fortes. In this budget and in the new climate plan we presented last month, there's also direct increased investments for Inuit climate priorities. Climate change is changing the geography of the Arctic, and we recognize that this also changes the security context of the North, which is why we're so pleased to have Minister of Defense here with us today. As we work with the US on modernizing NORAD, there'll be new opportunities for economic development and infrastructure in Inuit communities. Minister Anand is here today, and I know she's looking forward to working with Inuit partners to make sure that our defense policy not just respects, but includes Inuit communities as we move forward. Lots to discuss today, so I'm really looking forward to getting into it. I want to thank all the folks around the table for setting aside all the work we need to do this afternoon, but also working so hard to build up towards it. I want to welcome some of the new faces around the table and look forward to really getting into it with all of you. I'm looking forward to continuing on the work we've built to go even further, even faster, and do even more to benefit not just people across Inuit-Nunangat, but across the entire country. Merci beaucoup, mes amis. Back to you, Natan.
We'll just pause a moment as the media leave the room.